Next up at UFC Vegas 86, we have unreliable Zac Pauga taking on Bogdan Guskov. Zac Pauga, 6-2 overall, 3-2 in his last 5. He is coming off that underwhelming loss to Modestas Bukauskas. He's taking on Bogdan Guskov. This guy is 4-1 in his last 5, and he's coming off that stoppage loss in his UFC debut. But overall, very solid record at 14-3. And breaking down Zac Pauga is tricky because when I broke him down for his first official UFC fight, I watched a bunch of regional tape, try to get an understanding of who this guy is. And that tape, the pre-UFC Zac Pauga, is very different than the current version of him. Pre-UFC, he was a dominant wrestler, strong guy who would punch the jab, launch an overhand, shoot a bunch of takedowns. This version of him, the one that's in the UFC, he's a striker, doesn't attempt any real takedowns. They're going to be like Raquel Pennington style, lean against the cage and hold you there. The pre-UFC wrestling just has not shown up just yet in the octagon, and he might need it in this matchup. He can strike, he's decent, he's pretty tough, pretty well-rounded, but he just seems to freeze in the moment. He's coming off that decision loss to Modestas Bukauskas, where he did land more strikes, and he did have some control time against the cage, but he did get stuffed on 3 of his takedown attempts. He's taking on Bogdan Guskov. This guy's a heavy-handed guy, likes to come forward. He's going to throw big. He'll mix things up. When he's striking, he can be fast. He can have some very real power. He keeps his hands low, but he has decent footwork and nice combinations. If he doesn't get the early knockout, he will work to some grappling. He'll get you to the cage. He'll try to get you to the ground. On top, he's got incredible patience, good control. He'll ride you out while striking, but he's not going to get overly aggressive, not going to take wild chances. Everything he does looks like it hurts. And this is a hard fight to break down because being confident in Zac Pauga is not an easy thing to do. He's very well-rounded. He might be the better fighter here, just skill-wise, but we haven't really seen a perfect assembly of those skills. And then the aggression or the desire to go with it. He can be low volume. He can be tentative. He is well-trained. He does have the skills, but he doesn't seem to care. I mean, obviously, he probably does care, but when he's fighting, no sense of urgency, no real game plan. Pauga's a good-sized favorite here, but I have not had confidence in him in a couple of fights.
Good-sized favorite?
Well, those notes were for when he was minus 160.
Oh, my God.
But I have no confidence in him. I haven't had confidence in his last couple of fights. So I'm going to go Bogdan here. At least I know that guy's going to come forward and try to win this fight. And Zac Pauga can be tough. He could have a little bit of power there, but I'm going to pick Bogdan here. And honestly, if the odds continue to move, you might be able to get some good money on him. What do you think, Jakey Bombelotes?
Yeah, I just don't think Zac Pauga is that guy. And I had my question marks for Bogdan coming in that Volkan fight, and for good reason, because Volkan is a very experienced, high-level dude, right? He's been around. He's finished some people, and he's an experienced technical striker. And you saw that when he was fighting Bogdan, right? Because Bogdan, as you mentioned, he's a technical striker, but he likes to kind of be a little bit loose, right? He kind of hands low, a little bit loose with the strikes, some weird combinations, almost like the Robert Whittaker, 1-2 with a head kick behind it, that type of weird stuff, throwing knees and stuff. And when somebody is standing right in front of him as a technical striker like Volkan, who can eat a shot or two, that really kind of gave him trouble, because I thought he landed a couple decent shots on Volkan, and then Volkan was right there to counter, and those counters ended up getting to Bogdan, and it is what it is, and that fight ended up being what it was. Zac Pauga is not a technical striker. He's not a technical really anything, as you mentioned. His striking is like he just kind of blitzes in and kind of lunges in. He'll miss by 6 feet sometimes, and he gets off balance. And I think that bodes well for a guy like Bogdan. I think that he can sit on these counter shots and wait for these wild blitzing by Zac and find a shot. And he's shown that when he does land, he can put people out. So I'm actually pretty high on Bogdan in this matchup. I just don't think Zac Pauga is that dude. He's 6-2. I think he's got like 1 finish in those 6 wins, something like that. And he got put out bad by Usman. I think even in his last fight, he got hurt a couple times by Modestas, and Modestas isn't like a super powerful guy either.
Not dangerous, yeah.
I think if Bogdan puts some hands on him, I think he can really have some success here, and I think he does. So I'm going Bogdan.
Yeah, I mean, Bogdan did just have a loss in his UFC debut, but Volkan Ozdemir is 100 times the fighter that Zac Pauga is. Volkan, tried and true, tested. Well, it's been in my notes for a week, so tried and true, tested guy. So it is what it is. We're on the same side here again. We keep agreeing, Jakey boy.
And that's Uzbekistan, right?
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't memorize these flags.
Bet.
$7,800 in DraftKings. I think Boggy might be worth that price point because we can get a finish out of him. Zac Pauga has been finished. Obviously, Muhammad Usman hits insanely hard, but we have seen Zac Pauga in a bit of trouble. Bogdan's a dangerous guy. Come on, focus. There it is.
Uzbekistan.
All right. Well, he's going to come forward. He's tough. He's grindy. And without any sense of urgency, Zac Pauga is not going to win this fight. WeWantPicks.com. Click Become a Member. You can unlock, I think there are some bets on this fight up there for premium. You can unlock those and so much more at WeWantPicks.com. Just click Become a Member at the top. Couple of super chats. IB Win says we should postpone our fight a week. I will leave that up to Jacob. Obviously, if Jacob feels like absolute trash, then we'll move it. If he doesn't, then we'll make it work. And Demigod probably showed up a little late, doesn't realize that Jacob is sick. And that's not sarcasm. He's genuinely sick, which is why he's a little lower energy than he normally is, and they think I yelled at you, which is funny because that did happen one time.
Did it, though?
Yeah, I was like, "Brr," like jumped down your throat, and then you were just like this the rest of the stream, just sitting there, not talking.
It's not fun when I'm not fun, is it, guys?
Yeah. Well, and our live viewers just dropped from 450 to 250. Great.
Yeah, you'll have that. Like the stream.
Please, so bad, please. Before you go, let me give you $50. Anybody who goes to WeWantPicks.com/bets and signs up with any one of our affiliate partners gets $50 as a thank you. Use the link, sign up, make a deposit. We send you $50 as a thank you.